At a junior beast taming school, a teacher informs his students that with the final exam less than a week away, their qualification assessment begins tomorrow. He notes that because everyone has already contracted their first beast, they should spend the rest of the day resting and preparing for the trial before dismissing the class. In the halls, students express their extreme nerves, admitting that even reaching the rank of apprentice beastmaster is difficult, while getting into an advanced academy seems impossible. While one student confidently aims for an average academy in Ninjang City, another fears that failing this exam means living as an ordinary person for the rest of his life. As the Beastmaster qualification assessment approaches, the protagonist reveals a hidden secret. He is actually a time traveler. Only a week ago, he journeyed through time and space to inhabit his current body, leaving him feeling disconnected from the upcoming school exams. By accessing the memories of his new body, he begins to understand the history of this world. Hundreds of years ago, a massive event known as the catastrophe occurred, forever changing the landscape of human civilization. During this disaster, dimensional rifts opened up across the world, releasing countless ferocious beasts. These creatures hunted and slaughtered humanity, causing immense suffering and pushing the population to the brink of extinction. Humanity eventually fought back and discovered a way to survive the brutal war. They gradually developed specialized techniques to tame the ferocious beasts, turning their enemies into powerful allies that they could control in battle. The Beastmaster profession was born from the chaos of the catastrophe, eventually stepping onto the world stage as humanity's primary shield. In this modern era, Beastmasters have naturally become symbols of immense status and rank, representing the pinnacle of society. Becoming a Beastmaster is synonymous with entering the elite class, making it the ultimate dream for every young person. This ambition centers on becoming a powerful spirit master, a goal that begins the moment a citizen reaches adulthood. The law of this world dictates that all young people aged 18 or older are eligible to contract their first beast. This pivotal moment determines their future, as the initial bond serves as the foundation for their entire career. However, a tamer's potential is strictly limited by their own biology. The higher the inherent strength of a person's soul, the higher the level limit of the pet beast they are capable of contracting and controlling. The protagonist realizes that the prestige of the Beastmaster profession means nothing to him because the original owner of his body had already contracted their first beast. To his dismay, that beast is a Snowball, a creature that is completely harmless to both humans and animals. Aside from its lack of offensive capabilities, the Snowball is fundamentally flawed because it is non-lethal and incapable of evolution. Looking at the tiny, cute creature, the protagonist begins to despair, fearing that he is destined to live a mediocre life as an ordinary person. He laments his unfortunate circumstances, comparing himself to other legendary time travelers. He notes that while others usually receive gold fingers or powers so immense they can destroy the world, he has been left with a useless pet and no special advantages. Frustrated by his lack of a cheat ability, he questions why his transmigration turned out so poorly compared to others. Stuck with a creature that can only act cute, he faces the upcoming qualification assessment with a sense of impending failure. A classmate mocks Lindsay, telling him not to worry if he fails to become a Beastmaster, as he can always settle for a safe job as an ordinary office worker. The bullies burst into laughter, joking that Lindsay's weak Snowball beast is only suited for selling ice cream or chilled mineral water at a mall entrance. While Lindsay fumes over their insults, a sudden digital notification appears, announcing that a hidden system has finished charging and is now activating. The achievement system officially launches, revealing itself as Lindsay's long-awaited gold finger that had been recharging since his arrival in this world. Lindsay is ecstatic, calling the system's activation a heavenly sound and celebrating that his golden finger has finally arrived after so much waiting. He begins exploring the interface, learning that the achievement system grants points and bonus items for completing tasks. These points can be used to boost a beast's growth, unlock new skills, and even strengthen his own attributes as a beastmaster. Contrary to the common belief that snowballs cannot evolve, the system explains that growth can be increased through battle or consuming energy-rich items. Once growth reaches 100%, an evolution will be triggered, greatly improving the pet's strength and potential. When he checks the status of Little Snowball, the system reveals it is an ice attribute beast at rank 1 with the skill Cold Air Breath. While its current growth rate is only around 23%, the system provides a clear path forward for improvement. Lindsay is stunned to see that evolution is even possible, as it was common knowledge that a snowball is an evolutionary dead end. He realizes that the system is showing him hidden evolutionary routes that no one else in the world knows about. The system presents two distinct paths: the giant route, which focuses on physical strength to become a rank 5 snow monster, and the queen route, which enhances elemental spellcasting to reach the prestigious king rank as an ice crystal spirit. Staring at the screen in disbelief, Lindsay notes that while a normal snowball clearly cannot evolve, these secret methods change everything. He begins to understand the true power of his golden finger and the potential it unlocks for his harmless pet. With these options available, he realizes he no longer has to settle for a mediocre life or sell ice cream at a mall. Feeling a surge of hope, he wonders if he can truly pass the upcoming assessment and become a powerful beastmaster after all. Lindsay decides to pursue the Queen route, a legendary evolution path that allows Little Snowball to eventually reach the prestigious king rank. To transform his pet into an ice crystal spirit, he must achieve a 100% growth rate and collect specific materials, including 20 units of low-level ice element essence and a spirit jade. Determined to begin the upgrade process immediately, Lindsay turns to his achievement system to see what resources are available. He realizes that by completing milestones in this world, he can earn the points and items necessary to bypass the natural limitations of his harmless-looking beast. The system interface reveals several potential achievements, such as passing the Apprentice Beastmaster qualification and successfully enrolling in a professional academy. Each milestone offers significant rewards, ranging from hundreds of achievement points to rare spirit and strength crystals that can bolster his own attributes. Lindsay claims his first available reward for successfully contracting a pet beast, which grants him 100 achievement points and 1 spirit crystal. With these initial resources in hand, he finally has the means to start strengthening Little Snowball and preparing for the high-stakes assessment tomorrow. Lindsay immediately puts his newly acquired achievement points to use, channeling them into Little Snowball to force a rapid development. As the energy takes hold, the beast is enveloped in a brilliant glow, and a level up notification confirms that the points have been successfully converted into growth. The system announces that the evolution is successful, showing that Little Snowball has reached rank 1, stage 2 with a perfect 100% growth rate. With this sudden transformation, the once weak beast has officially surpassed its natural limits, proving that Lindsay's secret system can turn even the most mediocre pet into a powerhouse. Lindsay is thrilled to see that the system actually works, having spent 77 achievement points to successfully level up his beast. Despite the brief but dazzling special effects, he acknowledges that the Snowball is currently classified as an F-class pet, which explains its weak reputation in society. Determined to trigger the hidden evolution, he realizes he must still gather specific materials, 20 ice element essences and 1 spirit jade. He notes that these items are quite expensive and that most people would never guess such a formula could be used to advance a lowly snowball. As he prepares to head out and find the money needed to buy these materials at a pet shop, his bullies mock him yet again. They laughingly ask if he is finally taking his pet home to start their ice cream business. Ignoring the insults, Lindsay remains focused on the rare evolutionary path only he can see. He knows that securing these costly materials is the final hurdle to transforming his F-class beast into a powerhouse before the qualification assessment. Lin-Z comforts little Snowball, telling it to ignore the bully's insults. He places his full trust in the small creature, noting that their success in tomorrow's qualification assessment depends entirely on its performance. One of the bullies, enraged by Lin-Z's dismissive attitude, calls him trash and demands to know what he just said. The tension rises as the bully's anger flares, but Lin-Z remains outwardly unfazed by the confrontation. Internally, Lin-Z acknowledges that his antagonist belongs to the Zhang family, the second most powerful clan in the city. He realizes that he isn't in a position to go head-to-head with them quite yet, opting to stay patient for the time being. As he walks away, Lin-Z confidently declares that the results of the Beastmaster final exam will reveal who is truly trash. He leaves the group behind, fully focused on letting his performance speak for itself during the trial. Zhang Hao spits in disgust, mocking Lin-Z for thinking he can succeed with a beast that resembles a useless stuffed animal. He and his lackey laugh hysterically at the idea of Lin-Z entering a trial with a creature that is fundamentally incapable of evolving. The bullying intensifies as Zhang Hao advises Lin-Z to stay home instead of attending tomorrow's Beastmaster qualification assessment. He claims that for someone with such a weak pet, passing the exam is an absolute impossibility. A student named Miss Guan suddenly intervenes, sternly calling out Zhang Hao and warning him not to take his harassment any further. Lin-Z remains quiet in the background as she stands her ground to stop the confrontation. Zhang Hao dismisses her intervention with a smirk, continuing to label Lin-Z as garbage while his followers mock her for defending him. They taunt her choice in friends, suggesting she would be better off following someone powerful like Hao instead of protecting a failure. Lin-Z tells Ning to stop arguing with Zhang Hao and his group, believing they will naturally understand his true strength when the time comes. He informs her that he needs to visit a pet store before heading home, asking her to go back by herself while she simply agrees. After visiting the shop, Lin-Z stands outside, shocked by the high cost of the evolution materials required for little Snowball's hidden path. He laments that months of his hard-earned savings were spent in an instant, just as someone nearby calls out his name. Ning welcomes Lin-Z back and invites him to have dinner at her house, mentioning that her mother specifically asked her to extend the invitation. Lin-Z agrees to the offer, promising to head over to her place later that evening. After a brief moment of hesitation, Ning brings up the high-stakes Beastmaster qualification assessment scheduled for the following day. She tentatively asks Lin-Z if he would be willing to go to the testing site together with her. Lin-Z confirms that he will be going, explaining that he naturally has to participate in the assessment as well. Upon hearing this, Ning becomes visibly excited and happy, relieved that they will be facing the trial at the same time. Thrilled by his determination, she encourages him to perform at his best during the exam. She tells him to make sure he stands his ground and gives Giant Hao's gang some good face, implying he should show them up with his results. Lin-Z confidently accepts the challenge to face the bullies, telling Ning to leave everything to him. She waves goodbye, wishing him luck, and they part ways as he heads home to begin his preparations. Back at home, Lin-Z examines the expensive materials he purchased for little Snowball. He laments to his pet that while the Ice Element Essence and Spirit Jade were costly now, future level-ups will only become more expensive as they progress. He presents the materials to the creature, instructing it to eat them so the evolution can finally begin. He tells the little guy to eat slowly, reassuring it that no one is going to compete with it for the resources. After finishing the items, little Snowball lets out a burp and begins to emit a brilliant, surging light. Watching the transformation take place, Lin-Z watches in anticipation, wondering if his pet is truly about to evolve. Lin-Z shields his eyes as a massive surge of energy erupts from little Snowball. He watches in awe, noting that the creature is glowing with an intense, blinding light as the evolution process finally takes hold. The small, harmless-looking beast begins to absorb the elemental materials, its body becoming encased in a swirling vortex of blue and white energy. Every inch of the snowball is consumed by the transformation as its physical form starts to shift. The energy reaches a fever pitch, creating jagged crystalline patterns as the chosen evolution path begins to manifest. The internal structure of the beast undergoes a radical change, powered by the expensive essences and spirit jade he provided. A final burst of power releases a freezing mist across the room as the evolution concludes. Little Snowball's new form begins to emerge from the light, signaling that it has successfully transitioned from a common F-class pet into a far more powerful entity. As the light reaches its peak, a massive shockwave of icy energy throws Lin Z backward. Through the thick clouds of freezing mist, he watches as a humanoid figure begins to take shape where the small Snowball once stood. The blinding glow finally fades to reveal the ice crystal spirit. The once blobby pet has transformed into a high-level humanoid beast with elegant crystalline features and a flowing blue dress, floating calmly amidst the remaining energy. A system notification officially confirms that the evolution succeeded. Lin Z stares at his new partner with a look of intense satisfaction, seeing firsthand that the hidden queen route was the correct path to power.